Welcome back. We're talking maritime security. Now, the Nigerian Navy has remained constant in ensuring sea control and arrest of illegal bunkers, smugglers, pipeline vandals, and other miscreants in the fight against illegalities in the nation's territorial waters. And it's been a tough call. You hear of one ship hijacked, crew hijacked, and all of that. But
you hear of militants blowing up
pipelines, and on and on and on. But the Navy has also been doing its bit in conjunction with other agencies as well. So we have the Navy in the studio, representatives of the Nigerian Navy in the studio. We have Rear Admiral Adeni Yoshino, Chief of Training and Operations, Naval Headquarters. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And Rear Admiral Ferguson Babai, Flag Officer Commanding Western Naval Command, Lagos. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Good morning.
Gentlemen, welcome. The Navy is 60. Sorry, the Nigerian Navy is 60. But beyond all of that, let's look at what's been going on in the territorial waters. I'll stay with you, Rear Admiral Babai. A lot of piracy and activity of pirates and vandals go on in the, what they call that, Bight of Guinea. Is it Gulf of Guinea?
Gulf of Guinea.
Gulf of Guinea.
I like that.
Yeah, the Gulf of Guinea. But you and your agency has stuck with, we're going to end this once and for all. Tell us what it's been like so far.
Well, the Gulf of Guinea, as you know, is very diverse, from Senegal down the coast up to Angola. So it's really a very vast area to police as a naval force. So it's not a one country issue. It's an issue that has to do with collaboration with other nations that are within the Gulf of Guinea. So the Nigerian Navy have, in the past and still now, tried to collaborate with other nations to ensure that there is security in the Gulf of Guinea to enable trade and commerce to strive. And that's why, even in the context of celebrating our 60th anniversary, we were able to conduct a regional maritime exercise, which some of your crew were on board with us. And we were to ensure that there is security in the Gulf of Guinea. And there was participation from navies of Ghana, Cameroonian Navy, and even the French Navy participated in the exercise. Really, he was the officer in command of the exercise, and I was the task force commander of the exercise. So all these things are all about ensuring that there is security in the Gulf of Guinea.
Yeah. If you look at it, whichever way, 60 years, there will be the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Sure.
If I ask you what has the Navy done, you're going to tell me, of course, all of the things, but we still have issues that we are dealing with. We're now talking about renewed, blowing up of pipelines. What is the Navy doing in this respect?
Well, thank you very much. What we need to understand first is the nature of the terrain where these illegal and criminal activities taking place. Within a maritime domain, you have the deep offshore, that's from coast downwards towards deeper part of the sea. We have some hydrocarbon exploitation activities taking place. We have those within the swamps, within the creeks. As you probably note, there are over 2,000 of such creeks intertwined within the delta area. And of course, we have the landward side of it. We also have noted, by the nature of this delta terrain, that much of this is being perpetrated by individuals, groups who feel maybe aggrieved, and in many cases, those with criminal intent. But one thing is very clear in all this. the nation loses. In addition to this, the host community loses so much, and the environment is degraded. Before I come to what we have been doing, just cite an example of one of the states within the Niger Delta. What the state received last month as part of the share of the national revenue was just 1.6 billion. And it has to pay a wage bill of 4.4. And that was as a result, first, of not only the dwindling oil price, but also the result of the reduced output as a result of vandalism, shorting of the crude oil that would otherwise have been produced and sold. So who loses in this case? But what still is the fact that whatever damage is being done right now to the various pipelines and other facilities, guess who pays? It is still the nation. It is not the oil companies, largely. So it's in this regard that the efforts of the government and indeed the hierarchy, the top hierarchy of the military has been directed not only at finding a military solution to it, but also that of sensitization by way of information awareness to the local populace and those communities where such acts are perpetrated. And the order is to bring also the states to recognize the necessity of placing appropriate socioeconomic conditions and activities that will distract the would-be criminals from such negative tendencies. It may also interest you to note that up till December 2015, Nigeria had a very beautiful declining record of piracy and attacks at sea. Shortly after the elections, December, January, everything let loose. But gladly we have put in place a number of measures as far as the piracy incidents, armed robbery at sea are concerned. We have seen a remarkable reduction. And the reduction is also such. This might not be clearly observable by you, but our analysis, which you may corroborate from other external sources, that the level or the successes recorded by those who are engaged in some of the piratical attacks has significantly reduced to less than 10%. And how did this happen? It is not only that we have placed vessels, that's Nigerian Navy vessels, on continuous 24/7 patrols. It is also about ensuring that the seafarers, that is those merchant ships or other vessels operating in the area, they are aware. They put in place appropriate protective measures and they intimate the Navy as well necessary to offer necessary support or protection. And I think we need to replicate this on land. I'm glad to note that some of the states in the Niger Delta have equally been trying to tell their respective communities to weigh the consequences of what they're doing. So these are part of the measures that have been put in place. And you may also need to know that we have a dedicated operation along this line. It's ongoing, as much as other measures to check the movement or the launching of such attacks from the coastal stretches or the communities bordering the coast.
Okay.
And the Chief of the Defense Staff, including the Chief of the Naval Staff, as well as other service chiefs, have within the past month equally conducted assessment of the situation within the Niger Delta. As I told you, it's not just about military solution. We can do it much more cost effective.